Saturday, relive the epic clash between Tank Davis and Isaac Cruz. Then, the spotlight shines on the Filipino Flash Nonito Donaire as he defends his title.
Can Donaire dance with destiny one more time?
But undefeated Reymart Gaballo wants to score the biggest win of his career. It's an action-packed night of boxing on Showtime.
A very good afternoon and welcome to the Hyatt here in Los Angeles, as we are very excited for a big night of Showtime Championship Boxing this Saturday night from Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, a venue that is legendary for producing action-packed fights. We go live on Saturday night on Showtime Championship Boxing at 10 Eastern, 10 Pacific time. We have a sensational triple header, but before we get to live action, we have been on a tremendous run when it comes to Premier Boxing Champions on Showtime. We will show you the encore of the tremendous lightweight championship showdown between Geraldes Davis and Isaac Cruz that happened this past Sunday at nearby Staples Center here in Los Angeles. Premier Boxing Champions on Showtime continues to deliver action-packed Fight of the Year candidates. We had a tremendous fight between Stephen Fulton and Brandon Figueroa a couple of weeks ago in Las Vegas, followed it up with Sunday's lightweight clash with Geraldes Davis and Isaac Cruz. And now we continue with another week of action as we go ahead and have Nonito Donaire, the WBC bantamweight champion of the world, as he defends his championship against a fellow Filipino, the interim champion, Reymart Gaballo. Saturday night's event is presented by Premier Boxing Champions and promoted by TGB Promotions. Ray Flores, privileged to be with all of you. If you are in the area, you can purchase tickets at AXS.com. Again, that is AXS.com. And for those of you all over the country, 10 Eastern, 10 Pacific time on Showtime Championship Boxing. Let's take a look at our triple header, our live action that comes your way this Saturday from what I like to call the War Grounds in Carson. We will start off the evening with the rising sensation. He's a knockout artist. Brandon Lee will put his skills to the test against the very determined Juan Geraldes. Then we'll match up with two unbeaten fighters, Kudratillo Abdukakhorov, as he goes head-to-head against Canadian Cody Crowley. And then, as I mentioned in our main event, it'll be Nonito Donaire putting his WBC bantamweight crown on the line against Reymart Gaballo. What's interesting about this show is that 4 of the 6 fighters are undefeated, so we continue to provide high-risk matchups and exciting ones. Let's go ahead and talk with the fighters as we go ahead. I'm going to ask them questions, and then I will open it up to the media. I will start off with Juan Geraldes, who has a record of 16 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 10 wins coming by way of knockout, fighting out of Las Vegas. He holds win over Jose Miguel Borrego and Eddie Ramirez. Now, for you, Juan, you are coming off of a loss at the hands of Regis Prograis last Halloween that was in San Antonio on the undercard of Geraldes Davis, Leo Santa Cruz on Showtime pay-per-view. What did you learn in that fight?
I learned just prepare better, just don't rely on my skills and my talent, just physically prepare myself.
Now, you changed trainers from what I gather. You now are led by your amateur trainer, Gilberto Martinez. Why did you decide to make that change?
Because I needed a coach that has a plan, a game plan, and a method to the madness that we have to go put ourselves through to train and get the best out of us.
Now, Brandon Lee has been wiping out his opponents. He's a knockout artist, but where do you feel you have the advantages over Lee?
Well, we're going to find out on Saturday. Honestly, I really haven't watched video. I know his box strike is his record is what it is, but I mean, we're going to see Saturday.
All right, that is Juan Geraldes, ladies and gentlemen, and now we move on to Brandon Lee, 23-0, 21 knockouts from La Quinta, California, 14 straight wins by either knockout or TKO. Brandon, will it be 15 straight against Juan Geraldes on Saturday night?
I I'm going there to win, so it don't matter how it goes down. I might knock him out. I might go the distance, but at the end of the day, I'm going there to win and do what I do.
Do you feel any additional pressure knowing from the public that they expect you to go out there and wipe out your opponents and win in such impressive fashion?
No, not at all, because like I said, I tune everybody out, and I go in there, I do what I do. It doesn't matter if I go for the knockout, I go for the win. I'm going in there to win, and come Saturday night, 24-0.
When I examine your record, I think it's crazy to me that you haven't been past the 4th round. Do you like the fact that you wipe out your opponents quickly, or are you of the mindset that at some point, maybe even this fight, that you want to go 6 rounds, 8 rounds, 10 rounds, or the distance?
I don't get paid for overtime, so it don't matter if I go 1 round or 10 rounds.
Juan, you're the underdog coming into this fight against Brandon Lee. Does that motivate you? Does that bother you, or do you pay no attention to it?
I've been underdog before against an undefeated fighter with a winning record or whatever, but there's nothing. It's whatever to me. It's just boxing. He gotta box me.
How do you see the fight playing out on Saturday, Juan?
Just showing off where I'm supposed to be going, and with my skills and my talent, speed and powers, and my jab, everything.
Do you think we're going to go back? Because the fight that stands out to me when it comes to your career is the win over Jose Miguel Borrego. He was a power puncher. He was coming up in the ranks. Do you think that we're going to sort of get that kind of performance against Brandon Lee on Saturday?
I think it's going to be better.
Even better?
Even better.
Why so?
Because I got a good coach, and I got Gil Martinez in my corner, and I prepare myself physically, mentally, all around. Yep.
Brandon, when it comes to Juan Geraldes, how would you assess him as a professional? He obviously has a record of 16-1-1. You know, he's been in there against some quality names, but how would you assess Juan Geraldes?
He's a good boxer, good speed, light on his feet, and, definitely my best opponent to date.
And how do you see the fight going down on Saturday?
I can't predict the future, but one thing I can predict, me winning.
All right, Brandon Lee, ladies and gentlemen, Juan Geraldes. That'll begin our live portion on Saturday night from Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Now we will move on to a matchup between 2 unbeaten welterweights. Cody Crowley out of Canada against Kudratillo Abdukakhorov. I will start off with Kudratillo Abdukakhorov, we actually have Samson Lukowitz, who I didn't even know this. I know he is one of the best talent scouts for boxing in the business, but he actually speaks 7 languages. So he will be translating for the Uzbekistan fighter. And when it comes to Kudratillo, he's 18-0 with 10 knockouts. You've been the mandatory challenger for the IBF Welterweight Championship of the World, currently held by Errol Spence since March of 2019. Do you think a win over Crowley on Saturday on Showtime Championship Boxing will finally give you enough of a push to finally get that title shot that you so covet?
Hi, everybody. This is my Samsung. This is my promotion. He helped me because there's no good talk English.
Well, that I will help him out to answer this question.
Well, I know for the past... Go ahead, Samson. Does he have anything more to add?
He asked me if you can repeat the question.
Oh, he wants me to repeat the question. You've been the mandatory challenger for the IBF Welterweight Championship for over 2 years, going on 3 years now. Do you think a win over Crowley gets you to that title shot?
Yeah. I win this IBF eliminator fight. Then I want to fight this. Jangim chiroyli knockout bilan yutib, dolzda shu Errol Spence bilan chempionlik jangiga olib bormoqchiman.
Definitely, I will win this fight, and then after 3 years, I deserve a shot to be a champion.
Yeah.
Now, I know for the past 5 weeks you've been working with Manny Robles, who used to train the likes of Andy Ruiz, former heavyweight champion of the world, also super welterweight contender Terrell Gausha. How much have you learned working with Manny and his entire team?
Biz Manny Robles murabbiyimiz bilan juda ko'p ishladik. jangimizga juda ham ko'p sportlarda o'tkazib, jangga yaxshi tayyorlandik.
Rolly is a great trainer. I learned a lot, and I will show that on Saturday night.
You fought two straight southpaws in Javier Flores and Luis Collazo. Crowley will be your third straight southpaw. Do you feel that that benefits you, because it's not often that a fighter goes head-to-head against three straight southpaws in their career?
Men shu jangimni do'st knockout bilan chiroyli g'alabaga erishib, Xudo xolasa shu Errol Spence bilan IBF chempion jangiga tushaman inshaalloh.
Two softball is good. The third one, I will knock him out, and then I will go to knock Spencer out.
You're saying you're going to knock out Errol Spence?
Yeah.
I don't need translation on that. My goodness. Okay, Kudratillo Abdukakhorov. Well, let's meet the man that will be standing across the ring from him. 19-0, 9 knockouts from Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. Cody, when you hear Kudratillo say he's going to knock you out and then he's going to go on to knock out Errol Spence, do you think that he's overlooking you?
First thing I want to say is, Mom, look who's on TV now. Shout out to my family back home in Canada. Getting back to your question, you know, I got offered this fight back in April. I was on vacation. I was in the mountains. I was just chilling. I accepted this fight 5 weeks' notice. Signed a contract without even questioning it. Next thing you know, this guy backs out. A couple months later, same thing. Now we're finally here. I have a feeling that they're just looking over me. They don't really know what I'm capable of doing. There's a reason why I've been in the ring with, 20-plus world champions. People outside the boxing ring, they don't know who I am, but everybody inside the boxing scene knows who I am and what I'm capable of. And he's 100% overlooking me mentioning Errol Spence's name. Come Saturday night, this guy's going to find himself in waters that he can't quite swim in. I survive in environments where most people get destroyed. So Saturday night, someone better throw this man some water wings.
Whoa. Samson, what is his response to, sort of summarizing that he feels you guys are overlooking him and he's going to take you and drown you into those deep waters? What's his response?
Bu boks buni bilmaydi, endi Xudo xolasa buni ring ko'rsatadi.
He say that you have no sympathy for them. Don't put any excuse. I will knock you up anyway.
Cody says he'll knock you out anyway. What do you want to do to him on Saturday night on Showtime Championship Boxing?
All you got to do is see who's standing in the center of the ring from the time the bell rings and who's running around till the bell stops.
Now, you're coming off of, you're supposed to fight Gabriel Maestre back in August, but you came down with COVID. The one thing, we see different fighters and athletes respond in different ways to responding and returning to action from dealing with that deadly disease. But how are you feeling physically heading into this fight on Saturday?
I'm feeling fantastic, healthy. I'm a world-class athlete. This is the level I'm supposed to be on. There's a reason why people can't keep up with me in the ring. There's a reason why they can't keep up with my punch count, is because I am just a machine. And I have a feeling that this Kudratillo on Saturday night is going to find out that maybe it's not a human in front of him, it's a machine, because this dude's just not stopping.
Do you think that he is ranked number one right now in the IBF rankings? He's the contender, the number one contender. He has been that way for over 2 years to Errol Spence's IBF welterweight crown. Do you think a win for you puts you in that conversation into that top 5 ranking where you can clamor for a world title shot?
100%. I've been waiting for this opportunity. This is where I belong. This is where I live. This is where I thrive. I feel at home right now. So a win over Kudratillo puts me exactly where I already know I am. I already am a world champion in my head. The world just doesn't know it yet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Cody Crowley, Kudratillo Abdukakhorov, both men saying they are going to make a statement against one another on Saturday night. That is our co-main event on Showtime Championship Boxing. Now we will move on to our main event of the evening for the WBC Bantamweight Championship of the World from Dignity Health Sports Park in nearby Carson. I will start off with the interim WBC Bantamweight champion from General Santos City, Philippines. His record 24 wins, no losses, 20 wins coming by way of knockout. Reymart, the Assassin Gaballo. Reymart, you grew up watching Nonito Donaire. What does it mean for you to be fighting the Filipino Flash for the Bantamweight Championship of the World on Saturday night?
It's an honor to fight with my idol, sir, in the ring. I'm so excited too.
In your last fight, you were victorious over former world champion Emmanuel Rodriguez by split decision. What did you learn in that fight that you feel will benefit you against Donaire on Saturday?
Like, when I look at my last fight, I need to improve my head movement and I need to throw some more punches.
All right, Reymart Gaballo, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get back to him, but now I want to bring up a man who has been there, done that many times over again. A 4-division world champion. He was the 2012 Fighter of the Year, involved in the 2019 Fight of the Year against Naoya Inoue. Coming up or back on May 29th, knocked out Nordine Obali to become the oldest bantamweight champion in history. Ladies and gentlemen, from Bohol, Philippines, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, it gives me with great honor and pleasure to welcome the WBC Bantamweight Champion of the World, the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nonito, with everything that you've accomplished in your career, why do you decide to continue to fight at this high level? What motivates the Filipino Flash at 39 years of age?
I think for me, after the Inoue fight, I was brought about a purpose, after becoming Fighter of the Year, I was going up and down, kind of floating in fights. But after that fight, I felt that I can do this. And I think the purpose in me, and this is why I came in really strong with Ubali and very confident today, is because I have a purpose, and that purpose is becoming undisputed champion of the world.
So with that being said, you are taking on a fellow Filipino in Reymart Gaballo. You haven't fought a fellow Filipino since we have to go back November 2nd, 2002, nearly 20 years. You fought Mark Sales. What does it mean for you to be stepping inside the ring against somebody who's 14 years younger than you, but he's 24-0, 20 knockouts, he's very hungry, he's got a big power shot, and he's looking to go ahead and sort of dethrone his idol?
Well, for me, I'm actually, first and foremost, I'm proud that there's another Filipino, like the Mexican have done throughout the years, where they're fighting in this level. And for me, I'm actually proud that there is another Filipino at this type of level, in this type of stage to be sharing this ring with me. And I'm proud of that. I know that Reymart is very hungry. He has a big dream. Like everybody coming from the Philippines, we have a dream. He has a dream, and I know that he will be at his best, and this is why I'm prepared at my best as well.
Reymart, in a recent interview, you said in preparation for Nonito Donaire that you have to look out for that vicious left hook. We've seen him put away many fighters with that left hook. In training camp, how have you been preparing to deal with that vaunted left hook that Nonito Donaire uses?
Every time we train in the gym, we always they always throwing me like same punches with my the hook of Nonito, but I told that that's not the only one need to be like what you call this? Oh, no, like kanang dagan ay kanang di lang bantayan ba?
He's saying that not just the left hook.
The respect they have with each other. Nonito Donaire's translating for his opponent. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Go ahead, continue with the translation. I just find it amusing.
He's saying that it's not just the left hook that he needs to look out for. I also have other arsenals that are that to look out for as well, not just the left hook.
Unbelievable. He's trash talking himself. Nonetheless, my final few questions for Reymart. You are 14 years younger than Nonito Donaire. Is it advantageous for you to push the pace knowing that he is 39 years of age? Does a faster pace, more high action, high volume favor you?
No, I know like even though the age is not it's just like a number, but I know that his movement is still there, same as before.
Now, Nonito, you've been in there with every style under the sun, but he does have 20 knockouts of his 24 victories. Do you think that your experience is going to play a factor in the fight, and how do you plan on combating the power that he has?
Well, I've faced a lot of guys like Inoue, Darchinyan, and even Walters, all these powerful guys, and the thing about being experienced is we have no fear of it. And so therefore we're mainly focused on our strategy and the variety of style that comes forward in my head that I can take advantage of his style. Ultimately, just 100% ready. We build on mental fortitude so that whatever the case happens, we're always going to push through adversity and be ready, because I believe that we are only as strong as our mind can be. And so I know that I'm 100% because my mind is to the roof or to the moon.
I love it. Reymart, my final question to you. What would a win over Nonito Donaire, when Jimmy Lennon Jr. were to say, and the new WBC bantamweight champion of the world, mean to you on Saturday night? What would that moment mean to you to become the new world champion as if you were to defeat Nonito Donaire? Nonito just doing it all, I swear. Unbelievable.
Like I'm so very happy, but because of my for my dugay rin ako na pangandoy makuha na ko.
He's saying that it gives him great pleasure and happiness because it's what he's been looking for all his life, to be announced as a world champion.
Nonito, you've been very vocal about the respect between the two. How much does it mean for you to sort of be sharing the ring with the guy who looked up to you, and the fact that you don't have to trash talk? You're translating for him, for crying out loud. So, and he's giving his predictions, but what does this mean for you as you sort of are on the latter stages of your career? I'm just here and enjoying that moment of whatever I have in this career. I mean, I wake up in the morning and I'm excited. Every day I'm excited. I'm in a gym. I feel like I'm 21 and I feel like I can do this for another 10 years. Another 10 years? Wait a minute. You're going to fight till you're 50?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Where's Rachel at? Is Rachel okay with that to fighting?
Well, it depends on the queen, right? Depends on the queen where my life stands. I'm just each day I take it, each fight I take it, and I'm just grateful for every moment of it. And I love the fact that, and I want to bring it all out there, that this is a gentleman's sport. I believe that it gives a lot of credibility of a fighter when he can speak to somebody with respect, with sportsmanship. And that's what I bring out there is to inspire people that it's not about being on top and talking crap about other people. So yes, there's things like that, and that's okay. It's part of the game. But I believe that a greater man is when he can look into his opponent's eyes and shake hands with them and go for the kill when they're in the ring. At the end of it all, it's a sport, it's a game, it's a career. And again, everybody's different. They have their own perspective. For me, my perspective is I love the sport of boxing. It's what given me everything that I have, and I'm going to represent it to the best of my ability with respect, with honor, and integrity.
You talked about unification. assuming all goes well and you're victorious over Reymart Gaballo on Saturday on Showtime Championship Boxing at Dignity
Can
Health
you
Sports
say,
Park.
and still, you say new for him, so you gotta say
Okay,
and
so
still.
assuming that Jimmy Lennon says, and still, the WBC bantamweight champion of the world, as you look at unification when it comes to Naoya Inoue, I was in Japan. That was an amazing fight. Or also a man who you talked about respect. There's been some trash talk with, on the side of John Riel Casimero. He holds the WBO bantamweight championship. Where do you lean towards? Is that next for you, assuming that all goes according to plan and Jimmy Lennon says, and still WBC bantamweight champion of the world?
The very key, and I will always say this, the guy that I truly trust in this game is Richard Schaefer, and I'm always going to leave it up to him.
So it's up to Richard Schaefer and your promotional team to go ahead and dictate as to what's next for Nonito Donaire.
But I'm going to go after all of them.
Okay, so in a way, in order, Donaire, or not Donaire, but Inoue or, Casimero, who would you want?
Well, they both have the belt that I'm looking for. But again, whatever's easier, and I'm going to leave it up to Richard because Richard knows how to make fights.
All right, now we're going to open it up to questions from the media. If you have questions for the fighters up here, by all means, raise your hand and ask them questions.
Hi, this question is for Nonito. Miguel Maravilla from Fight News. Nonito, you fought numerous times at Carson, StubHub Center, Home Depot Center. Now it's the Dignity Health Sports Park. There's been lots of memorable fights. Now you're fighting a fellow Filipino. Why is this fight going to be memorable and in the same way as some of the memorable fights that
Well, I
StubHub
think that
has hosted?
for me, it just shows where my experience and the level of my performance is going to be on this fight. But mainly, I am really proud that there are two Filipinos fighting, in this stage. So yeah, ultimately, that's my case. Why it's memorable for me. But the performance that I intend to showcase on Saturday is also going to be noteworthy.
More questions from the media?
We got questions. Yeah.
This question is for Brandon. Not overlooking Juan, but say you do come out victorious, is 2022 going to be a campaign lyric for one of the title shots?
I believe so. I'm 23 years old, and by the end of 2022, my team and I, Cameron Duncan, and my team will get together and we'll discuss that.
This is Frankie Olage for FightHype.com. My question is for Reymart Gaballo. Reymart, how do you approach this fight knowing that Nonito is an idol to you and at the same time he's an older fighter? You obviously have respect for him, but how are you approaching this fight mentally?
Okay. I can talk too much, but I will do my best in the ring. Sige, coach. Sa ta. Buhaton rin ako tanan akong ginabuhat sa training para gwapo akong performance sa dula.
He said that he will do everything that they have done during training in preparation for this fight so that he will fight very well and go for the win.
Mohammed Mubarak with the Electronic Urban Report. My question is for Cody Crowley. You have a very impressive ring record, and could you tell us what did it take for you to go down this journey to get to this point in your life, and what does it mean to have a win Saturday night?
It's took a lot of sacrifice. I'm from a super small town in Canada where boxing doesn't really exist. And from a small age, I had this burning desire inside of me to become something great. And all I really had was 2 fists and a beating heart. And I put all of that, everything I had, to the test, made the sacrifices I need to make, moved to Las Vegas, put myself in the best possible environment to be successful, got the best trainer in the game, surrounded myself with the right people, the right world champions to guide me in this sport. And as you can see, my record stands for it, 19-0. If you want to go to the scorecards, you can see that out of the 150-something rounds I've boxed, I don't think I've even lost one round. All that comes from this crazy work ethic that I put in the gym every single day. Because when I wake up, ever since I was a young kid, I said that I'll become a world champion. And I go to sleep knowing that I'll become a world champion. So really, at the end of the day, this comes down to sacrifice. And look, now I'm on Showtime. You know, I put in the work, I sacrificed what I need to. Now I'm on live TV. A small kid from a small town doing big city things. So, message out there to anybody in the world, you can do whatever you put your mind to. It doesn't matter how big the competition is. It doesn't matter if they say they're going to knock you out. You know, I stand in front of any wall that stand in front of me. And I plan on breaking through it. That's what I've done my whole life. Keep climbing over walls, keep climbing over obstacles.
And Cody, to my knowledge, you haven't lost a round since what, April of 2016? Am I correct on that?
Possibly. I don't think I've ever lost a round.
Okay.
That's probably one of the judges giving it to another guy. You know, maybe feeling sorry for him. But I personally believe that I outwork my opponent every single round. I'm throwing 100+ punches a round for 12 rounds straight. So when you see Cody Crowley in the ring, you're going to see an action-packed fight. A lot of this game that I've been seeing lately is people are so scared to lose. People are so scared to risk things that a lot of these fights get boring. And when I'm in that ring, I put it all on the line. I'm not scared to lose. I'm not scared to get knocked out. I'm here to fight. I'm here to entertain. This is what the people who have went and saved up their hard-earned money are expecting. They're expecting you to go out there and lay your life on the line. And that's what I do every time I step in the ring, and I do it for all the people that support us. Without them, we wouldn't be here.
All right, quickly, I want to go around before we let these guys go. Prediction time. I'll start off with Juan Geraldes. Juan, Saturday night, your prediction, sir?
Predict the win. Just a nice win. Everybody, I guess, going to be surprised, but we won't be.
Brandon Lee, your prediction on Showtime Championship Boxing as you take on Juan Geraldes.
24-0 coming Saturday.
All right, co-main event, Cody Crowley, Kudratillo Abdukakhorov. Cody, your prediction?
I'm predicting an action-packed fight with my hand being raised at the end. I really don't see it going to the scorecards.
You're saying you're going to knock him out?
I don't see it going to the scorecards.
Okay. All right. Kudratillo Abdukakhorov, undefeated, ranked #1 by the IBF at 147. Your prediction against Cody Crowley?
Bu bokschi shunaqa jang qilib shunaqa nima ko'rsataman debdi. Xohlasa undan chiroyli jang ko'rsatib inshaalloh yutaman.
He say that he will win, he will knock him out. He never lost a round because the competition that he have. It's no competition compared to him.
So the key word in that fight, 10 rounds or less. Key emphasis on less. Someone is likely being put to sleep in our co-main event. Now our main event, the WBC Bantamweight Championship of the World. 2 Filipino fighters going at it. First, the interim WBC Bantamweight champion, Reymart Gaballo. Your prediction against Nonito Donaire? Prediction.
Nindot na dula, nindot niya yung dula among mapakita sa tanan din. Ningkamot nga madakulaw ko aning dula.
He is predicting that it will be a very good fight, and he will do the best he can to win this fight.
Well, I love the respect being shown by Reymart Gaballo. Nonito Donaire, the oldest bantamweight champion in history, the reigning WBC bantamweight champion of the world. How do you see your fight playing out against Reymart Gaballo?
Reymart is a really good fighter, but we were very, very confident. And the only thing that I have in my head, because I got bigger fish to fry, bigger fish to fish, to go after. and I'm like he said, he'll do his best. I'll do my best, but in my confidence, victory is the only thing. I'm burning all the ships. There is no going back without victory.
Nonito Donaire, ladies and gentlemen, all 6 fighters a part of our Showtime triple header this upcoming Saturday night. Give them a round of applause as we come your way from Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Before we go live, we'll have the replay of Gervonta Davis, Isaac Cruz. Thank you so much for joining us. And now we will have the ceremonial stare downs between each fight.
Saturday, we live the epic clash between Tank Davis and Isaac Cruz. Then, the spotlight shines on the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire, as he defends his title.
Can Donaire dance with destiny one more time?
But undefeated Reymart Gaballo wants to score the biggest win of his career. It's an action-packed night of boxing on Showtime.